sometimes it's best to move it
Yeah.
while it's cutting, because if it does, then it jams in the grass and
Gotcha.
then it pulls it around, and it won't start with the what is it, when it's jammed, the PTO won't engage.
Oh, righto. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, well, keep that shifter in your pocket.
Yeah, and then so what happens, it jams.
Yeah.
So, it jams in the grass, and then when you go backwards,
They dig in.
they dig in.
I know.
So you get locked in.
Yeah, I know. It's a bastard. I've had that done to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're all weight back to
Yeah. Keep that in your
break
pocket.
it free. Right.
The shifter in your pocket.
Yeah, I'll adjust it.
Adjust it as you need it. So this is farming syntropically. This is a series that I'm going to make, a new series, which is all about what we do on the farm, on projects from day to day. So there's plenty of information shared about all the technical stuff of Syntropy, but how do we do it and what does it look like from day to day? And I think that that's a really important thing to share. So we're going to share our life farming from day to day, solving problems, working on different projects, and just give you just that insight on day to day, week to week, work on the ground in Syntropy. Today's job is, one of them is removing senescence. Another one is we're going to get some irrigation going and get the water on for spring. It's drying out. So they kind of both have a bit to do with water, because the water cycle shuts down when there's senescence. So what we're going to do here today is cut the grass in here. We'll cut these weeds. This is all the blue billy goat weed that's grown through winter. It's flowering, it's gone senescent, and she's shut down and gone into senescence. So part of that too is cutting this grass and the interrow, the biomass rows. We're also going to be going through this interrow here of taro, and we're going to be cutting off the seed heads. So right now Rowan's on the BCS, he's going through and he's just cutting off the grass now, and then what we will do is we will rake the biomass onto the taro, and that'll break the senescence in here, and then we'll get the water on, give it a drink so we can get our taro growing. This is a commercial crop, a syntropic taro crop in this particular section, and the water cycle will start up again as we break the senescence, and the macroorganism goes back and starts to get busy again. So that's our jobs today: irrigation, fix pump, connect lines, pipes, etc. If we can get our water coming out the end of the main grid, that's our achievement for the day, and then we can go and fit off the soaker hoses and drip lines, etc. after that. But the main job is getting the water from the river back to the farm. So let's go. So first up, we've got to get the starter motor back on the pump. The pump got a little bit of water damage, water got stuck in the starter motor, solenoid got stuck out, wouldn't pull back in after starting, so she's fixed up now. Let's put it back together. You go and get a spinner. Working on the farm, I always keep the most used spanners in a small box including the shifters. 13 mil, 14 mil, 17 mil, 19 mil, 10 mil, two 10 mils, because one always goes missing, and all of the typical suspects that we use, and they're ring open ender spanners, and they'll do 90% of the jobs on the farm, and it'll save you a lot of walking and a lot of sorting out through big toolboxes to chase spanners around. All the ones we use most of the time are in the little grab box. Okay, that's firm but not tight. Let's get the top one on and use a shorter extension. Which doesn't to me look like it's going to fit, but let's see. Oh my gosh, it does. I'll tell you what, waiting for the first thing to go wrong, it's all going too well already. Okay. Okay, that starter motor is on. Now let's wire it up. Connect these two. Okay, while we're here, let's have a look at the oil. That's good. Now, this pump's been underwater. This happens to pumps when rivers flood. We try to get the pump out when we can, but sometimes the floods come very quickly. And this one went under, and of course, so it's been cleaned out and fixed up. Starter motor's fixed. And so what we've done is we've changed the oil and run it. Nice clean oil in there. But what we're going to do is once it's connected to the water and pumping, we're going to run it, let the pump get hot, and then run it for maybe about 10 minutes and then stop it, and then we'll change the oil again, and that'll get any moisture out of the shell bearings and all of the main bearings in the engine, and make sure that there's no water in it whatsoever, and she'll run good then. But that's what we do when the pump goes under. It happens a bit, and that's what we do when that happens. So let's connect this. The battery's on the other side. Let's put these wires. Yeah, they're free. They're not going to touch the hot exhaust if we put them through there. Okay, spanners. Let's go. Okay, here's our problem. I told you this morning went too well. We don't have a battery. What that means is, this is typical in farming. I should have checked. I didn't. So first up, one of my most important rules about farming and working with people is to be accountable. There's no one to blame except me, but I'm working between two different projects. It's the first time I'm back on the farm for about a month, and something like this is bound to happen. So what has happened is last time I was out here, I've gotten the battery, taken it off, taken it away, put it on the charger. And this morning I'm running through a checklist, getting a lot of things done. There's a few things to do, and we have no battery. So what that has done is it's put us into a situation where we have to now change jobs and keep the whole show going. I can't just pull up and run and get a battery. I'll lose about 2 hours there, and that 2 hours in driving is no point, because I'll just come back tomorrow with the battery and get the pump on. This is what we experience all of the time with farming, is human errors, and just sometimes there's just things that you can't help. cattle from next door get in. This happens all the time. The first thing, I think the most important thing to understand about farming is to understand that and roll with it. It's not the end of the world, far from it. That's no problem, because I'm going to just drop back now and harvest some banana bunches. I'm going to go back and work with Rowan and breaking the senescence. There's still plenty to do, and we've just reshuffled our tasks, but we will still achieve our goals, because the goal is water on by Monday. I've allowed myself a realistic time frame to get the water on, and we're not suffering any harm because it's not on right now. So this is a really important thing that I like to share most about farming, because that's how it works. You know, you may make mistakes. I made a mistake. Things happen. We've just got to move through it, but we've got to be accountable and understand why we went wrong, so we can try to prevent it happening in the future. And there's nobody gets mistreated for making a mistake. We all make mistakes. I don't mistreat myself or get angry at myself. I understand that I got a lot on, and she's cool. The whole show will continue, and be better than ever, because when we come back, Rowan will be off the tools and he'll be able to help me out here, because we've got some big pipes to wrestle. Let's have a quick look at that before we go. We've got our foot valve here, and we've got a 4-inch suction. Goes into that river there, the Coomera River. Nice water hole. And then from that, we've got a 3-inch push. This hose here goes all the way out to the main filter. When it goes to the main filter, it splits and goes into two 2-inch rural bee pipes, and they go through to be the main grid for the farm. So we'll put water through that main artery and then connect to that, and lo and behold, we'll have water. So let's put the tools away. And we'll go and harvest some bananas. Might have an oil leak in the car.
Smell it. Oh, it's fuel.
Fuel? Yeah. Oh, at least it's not an oil leak. I wonder where that's coming from. Might be cheaper to fix because it's fuel and not oil. Have you seen it, Eli? Where is it, mate? This? No. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, it's coming out the back near the firewall.
Oh, yeah, filter.
What is it, the filter?
Yeah.
Is it just loose, is it?
I think so.
Can you get your hands on it down there?
Yeah, it's loose.
It's loose?
Yeah.
Oh. Quick fix. Yeah. Easy fix. Loose oil filter. Loose fuel filter.
Hand tightened.
Hand tightened. Can you get a good bit of torque on it?
I'm getting multis.
Yeah, you don't need your multis, man.
No. Okay.
Just get your muscle.
Yeah, okay.
Just use your muscle, that's enough for it. There just wasn't enough muscle put on it the first time.
I think it stopped.
Yeah, if you can get it 2 hands on it and then just a bit of muscle, not full muscle, that'll be enough tightness.
Got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll start her up, see if it comes out. Problem solved. Fixed.
I rolled in something, eh?
You rolled in something. What did you roll in? Diesel or poo? Give me a look.
Plant.
Oh, did you get bit?
No, there's a plant.
Oh, did you get a rash? Oh, you got a rash. Man, this time of year all the grasses are itchy, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I wear all the long sleeves.
I wonder what it was.
Anything. So there you go. We found an oil leak, a diesel leak, fixed the diesel leak, and now we've got a rash. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'll be right.
Alright, mate. Alright, I'll go and get us some bananas and then some diesel. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to get 2 bunches. We're not going to sell them. 2 bunches is not enough to sell and they're a bit ugly. We're going to get these bunches to give away to some friends. Speaking of friends, look at all the farmers' friends. Look how happy they're keeping the bees. Feel the bees. And all of the other bugs. Awesome. Righto, where's our bunch? Alright, here's one. So this bunch is ready to go. So our main tools are the machete to cut down the bunch, to get the bunch down. We use a plasterer's tool to de-hand, and that's about it. So you grab the bottom of the bunch, encourage the plant to come down slowly, like that, and then we cut it off, and there's our bunch. Now let's de-hand it. Nice bananas. They're a bit ugly because they haven't had a bag on them, but they're beautiful bananas. They taste amazing because they're ripened on the plant. See how they start to colour up like that? Birds have found that. That's a nice bunch. So what we do is we de-hand them in the paddock and let the sap bleed out of them while we go to the next bunch, and then we come back with our boxes and we pack them in the paddock. That's how we've been doing it. So that's how we de-hand. We find the keyhole saw or the plasterer's saw to be a pretty useful little thing.
Is it this right here? Or the next one?
Yeah, no, to the next one where the young bananas are. Yeah, go right through to there. But for you to bust out ladyfingers, go over to the big row.
Okay.
If you want to, yeah, start busting out that one, I reckon.
And that's where we're going to leave one stand.
Yeah, we just leave suckers, mate. So hit it with the juicer,
Yep.
and we'll come back onto that one.
Okay.
We'll start on the big one first. We might as well.
Yep.
Yeah. What we're doing is we're going over to those ladyfingers. I'll go over there for another look in a minute and I'll show you in more detail. But Rowan's going to start hitting those ladyfingers and I'll show you what we're going to do. Done. So we'll just let them sit there and the sap can run out of those while we go and get another bunch. When a piece of that dead stuff gets in when you're trying to cut, it won't cut through it. When it's not in the dead stuff, we should be able to get a good, decent cut. So this one will be ready in a couple of days. The birds have started on it already, but if we had a bag on it, we could have left it a bit longer, but we'll get it soon, just so we don't lose that to the birds. I've been growing bananas without bags and plastic just to see what I could get away with, but at the end of the day, I reckon we're going to need to bag them as we start selling more and getting more commercial. We're getting some deer damage on our trees, but the tree will be able to survive that and come good. We just, for now, we just cop it, you know, but in time we hope to be able to manage that a bit better and find some other way of dealing with it. The deer here are of course a feral species. They're not native, they're not part of the ecosystem, and they're not checked by predators, so they just do too much damage. We need some wolves. Okay, here's our next bunch. The consortium's starting to kick in now after it's waking up, as temperatures are rising, it's waking up for spring. She'll fluff right up now. In the next 6 weeks it'll just explode in growth. It'll become a wall of plants. Okay, that should come down. Let's de-hand. We'll just get that one out of the way, I think. No point in trying to salvage that. That's our little contribution to the birds. You can hear them right now, they're all coming. There's a lot more bird life now that we've got trees everywhere. The agroforestry is doing its thing, restoring the ecosystem. Without us here doing this, we wouldn't have made this home for the birds. And soon, of course, the seeds they bring, because we're making roosts for them, they're going to bring more seeds in for forest species and bring in successional species of their own. It's amazing what the birds bring. They really add. The whole thing kicks off into a positive feedback loop. Lovely bananas. These are Ducasse variety, and they are a very big hit with people who eat them. They're a very beautiful sweet banana. I think they have a nice flavour, quite different to ladyfingers. They're sweet like ladyfingers, but they have a little bit more flavour, I find. We'll be managing these bunches differently again soon too. And we won't be carrying these smaller bananas at the bottom. We'll just hand them a bit more earlier and go back to 5 or 6 hands and grow the hands really big and get our kilos that way, just as we start calibrating our crop for the markets. So this is how we're going to manage them for the future. So let's use this example here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hands. So let's just take that back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands. That's it. That there will grow up a big bunch of big fat hands. These are 10 kilo boxes, and normally we get about $3 a kilo, so $30 a box. That's what the farm makes. So it's really important also, I find, to understand how many dollars everything's worth as you're going through. We always make mental calculations of what things are worth, and what it does is it helps us keep an idea then of what things cost as we're doing things, and it always makes us find an easy and smart and faster way to get things done rather than getting caught up and fiddling. Of course, and that's how we've managed to find faster ways to manage our banana hands, because this can take a lot of time to do these bananas if we don't do them an easy and smart way. Even though these are a bit ugly and possibly a little bit small, we're still producing a very high quality product. It's 100% certified organic. At the moment they're plastic free, but they will always be naturally ripened on the plant. Our products from this farm, they won't be ever gassed, because you will always get a better quality, sweeter banana if they're ripened on the plant, and that's what we do. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get roughly 30 kilos of bananas out of this. And you know, 2 unmanaged plants that are, you know, not a lot of management, 2 bunches, roughly 30 kilos, maybe probably more. So there's $90 from 2 plants. That's not too bad, because we're finding Syntropy pretty easy in the sense that it's not massively time consuming. We're not getting bogged down in tasks. We move through it all fairly quickly. We're getting good at it. We're getting better at it, and we want to share that through videos like this about how Syntropy can be done more and more easily the better we get at it. That's for the cameraman. Put that in your pocket. Alright, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to carry that other bunch down with me. Now I'll go up there with empty hands. Normally we bring a trailer through when we're harvesting a lot of bunches, but just for today we'll carry. These are definitely bigger than 10 kilos, and I accidentally packed that into the lid. Trying to learn how to speak to a video at the same time as do my work, but I'll certainly adapt. Another box of Syntropic bananas, naturally ripened. And we're going to get our easy 30 kilos because there's more than 10 kilos in each box. Both hands are a bit too big. They don't pack so well when they're really in full size. If you really like bananas, this is a great job because there's always heaps of spare bananas that have got marks that don't go into the box that we have to eat. Very popular with the Asians, these bananas are. The Ducasse. They call them Namva. So, let's get them back to the car. And then, we'll get Rowan some fuel. That cereal rye is really starting to fill out now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. No, it's good, mate. It doesn't matter if it just gets the top trimmed off it a little bit, and the senescence taken off with these flowers, it still won't harm it. It'll start to really pick up when now it's warming up.
Bees are liking it.
Bees are loving it. So what we're doing here with these ladyfingers is these ladyfingers were just planted with cassava, and they actually formed a really good consortium, but time's moved on and that consortium has changed, and the reason they were just planted here with cassava, I actually learned a lot about successional accumulation from observing this in the second year, but that's another story. The ladyfingers were just parked here as placeholders while we had the suckers before we could fully plant consortia, because we were working over there. This was at the beginning, so these are just parked here. This is just a placeholder row. So this spring we're turning it into a proper consortium. So what we're doing is we're going to cut them all down and just leave some small suckers, and we're going to make use of the accumulation of the banana and drop it all down, and it will biomass this row and then allow us to get started and plant a proper consortium. So the bananas have done their work in many ways. What they've done is they've given us a bit of fruit, they've brought life in, they've done their thing with the cassava, they've accumulated and they've generated a lot of biomass. So now we're ready to drop them down and plant. So now Rowan is starting on that now while we go and get him some fuel for the BCS so he can get back and keep cutting the grass. So we're off from another mission to get some fuel now. Right, so Rowan's cut the grasses and all the flowers have been cut off the blue billy goat weed, the winter weed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just cut back the pigeon pea a little bit. It's flowering. We may not do much to it. Doesn't really need a lot, you know. Maybe every now and then we'll cut off some flowers here and there, but just to bring the water cycle back to life and put the plant back into photosynthesis and take it away from reproduction. Pigeon pea will do this. We won't have to take them all off. We do want to let it go through its reproduction cycle, but we want to send it back into growth as well. So it'll carry some of those flowers, but it won't make any more. That'll just send it back into growth, and it'll fluff back up again and start photosynthesizing again. and bring the water cycle back in and kickstart everything, along with the breaking of the senescence of the biomass rows. And it'll wake it all up, put a growth pulse through it, and then we'll put the water on, and we're looking to get taro. So cutting off our castor oil seeds, we just cut them back to stumps and they'll re-sprout. This is the second cycle they've had. And just bring a bit of life back into it. Again, we'll just cut back the pigeon pea a little, like so. Doesn't matter if we don't get all the flowers off. We just want to get it to move back into a bit of a flash. That's good enough. That sent the message for it to grow again. But this we do want to get rid of, because this is senescence. This is a fully developing seed. We've got other plants in other rows, we're going to let that happen and collect the seed, but here we want taro, not seed. Cut off the flowers. Again, let's take this pigeon pea back, like this, and move it back into photosynthesis and get that water cycle going. Wake that macroorganism up as it shares the growing signals, and we're all on for spring because the soil temperatures have warmed up and it's ready to go. And what we'll do is later on in another episode, we'll come back through and we'll check out the taro. It's never a time-consuming task to do this. With a bit of practice, we can be quite fast at it. Our eyes are pretty well trained to know where to go straight away without thinking too much. We can move through this and we'll get through this row in probably about 15 minutes, I'd say. This castor oil should flush back quite nicely. And again, for woody cuts, I recommend the anvil type secateurs. You can see the growing pattern difference between the two varieties of pigeon pea here. The red and yellow flower one will grow and flower upwards, where the white flowered one tends to want to flower outwards in a ball. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that video of an elephant pushing over a tree, a senescent tree, but who knows? If we get the senescence out of these plants, we might get less hassle from deer. They might not feel compelled to come along and knock over our plants. Just a thought. Castor oil plant doesn't produce a lot of biomass, but what it does do is bring a lot of energy into the system through its photosynthesis, and it feeds and gives a lot to the soil microorganisms. The castor oil is a very important plant. Not only that, it's a really good fast emergent, good for an infestation to some extent. It doesn't close out a canopy as well as other plants, but it helps and works very well in as part of an infestation. But it also stratifies and does really good early shade for plants that are medium strata like taro, potatoes, but even though there's not a lot of biomass that comes from it, all biomass is appreciated. And of course, I believe that it embodies a lot of unique minerals. It really has those relationships with the soil life where the minerals are accumulated through its relationships with them, and it brings them up and then makes them biologically available. This is what we sometimes call a service prune. It's not a great big pulsing prune because, you know, it's just breaking senescence rather than cycling species succession upwards. Taro really loves mulch. It's one of those disturbance placenta plants where it thrives on the fallen litter and fallen mass and bodies of other plants, and it really sits down in there lower in the forest canopy and recycles all of that stuff and grows, and just really its broad leaves make heavy use of that high amounts of nutrition available, like like all disturbance placenta plants will do. That's one reason why pruning cycles with these sort of plants are very important, as well as stratification. Let's have a quick look at the taro. Here it is. It's just starting to wake up. It's been dormant through the winter and it's largely underground now. And so it's going to start, here it is with its new growth. It's beginning. But what we're going to find now is the taro will start to come out of the ground very, very quickly. You can see here. And it's just starting to wake up. It goes dormant in winter here, or not quite dormant, but mostly dormant. And what's going to happen is that taro now is just going to go blow right up. So we'll come and see it in a couple of weeks. But this is really good. This is the sort of system here which Taro loves to grow in, especially once we get a little bit more shade up and moisture up in the as it warms up. This is what Taro loves. It loves to grow in amongst these other plants, and eventually there'll be trees in here as well that the Taro will grow in the shade of a lot of larger trees that will be pruned and fed back to the Taro too. By the way, those trees will go in this year. And there we have it. That's the row pruned. Didn't take very long, and it's ready now for summer growth. A very important observation to make in syntropic farming and any regenerative farming is the disturbance and recovery cycle. So what we've done here is we've gone and knocked off the seed heads and broken the senescence of those plants that are vigorous in winter, which is in this case the blue billygoat weed. But we've got emerging summer grasses, so we've got to be careful that we don't overgraze or over disturb those summer grasses. So we've cut high and just trimmed the tops off. So the recovery of the warm season grasses is still beginning, and it hasn't really had a significant disturbance at all. And what we've done is gone and cut the top of the winter growth off. That's all right, just maybe cut that one, and then that's enough reduction of its flowering, and it'll give us some more growth then. The trick is with pruning, and pruning quickly, is to know where you're going to make your cut before you even get your hand and secateurs anywhere near the cut. So to read the plant as the hand is on the way to the cut, you know where the cut's going to be made. That's the trick to fast pruning. You can work hard and cut fast and run between trees, but the margin of speed that you'll pick up is negligible compared to where you make that cut, knowing where to make that cut. And then when you know to make a good cut, if you plan the cut correctly, for every one cut will be equal to 2 to 3 bad cuts. So you just 1 or 2 to 3 cuts per plant in exactly the right place, knowing it before you cut it, so your hand's moving straight to the right place. That's the trick with pruning and being fast. So of course that's experience. So we get out and do our hours pruning, and just keep that in mind. Just flow along and read the plant, and it'll just become second nature and instinct. That's the trick to anything, and being good and fast at anything is experience, and that's what you learn from experience with pruning. Okay, so the pruning's done, the grass is cut, the senescence is broken, so we've had a wind today and we know what to do with the pump, and that'll be probably the next episode, who knows, we just don't. But thanks for watching the first episode of Farming Syntropically, where We go through the day-to-day business of what it's like being on a farm, because we've got a few projects, and we can learn how the jobs are set up, how they're managed, and learn a lot more about it from the day-to-day living experience of coming along with us on the ride. I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe. If you want to support me, go to syntropia.com.au. Syntropia is where we learn and teach and share much more about this. Syntropia is where the mentoring and skill development is. Syntropia is where the chat is. Syntropia is where I talk, answer questions, and the larger discussion goes on, and there's a lot more sharing with a lot of skilled agroforesters. So I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you find syntropic farming your thing and you want to learn a lot more about it and how it's done and the details behind the scenes, courses, etc., please join syntropia.com.au or go to syntropia.com.au and log on. And joining Syntropia is what supports us to make videos like that. So again, thanks for watching. See you next time.